sometimes things go as they should, and sometimes they don't, and sometimes you get good games, and sometimes you don't. This was a bit of everything. I'm going to say it was an average game, but Astralis definitely picked up a win on a map that they are favorites on. Yeah, good news as well. They could pick it up without Device firing on all cylinders. Yes, he was bottom of the scoreboard for most of that guy. I think even the entirety. Glaive, the in-game leader, picked up the slack where required, and there they go. They're going to be winning the first map and move on to Mirage. That's going to be Na'Vi's pick here. So whether they can bounce back, I'm not so sure, but I hope they do. I'd like to see 3 maps against these 2 titans of Counter-Strike, especially with the new look Na'Vi, their first showing in terms of tournament play, with like Simple as the main AWPer and Zeus back. An old new look, you're right. But Simple, I guess with the roles changing dramatically with Simple in the main AWP, still kind of makes sense. But we'll see what happens here. Didn't really impress me towards the end of that. 5-2 lead and then finishing up 16-6. It's not something you love to see. But here we go then. We'll be getting into it. So it looks like the knife will be starting momentarily. There's Flamey, of course, on your screen right now. Getting warmed up, and they'll need him to be very warm indeed. Maybe even on fire, Matt, if he's going to stand a chance of winning the second map. Yeah, fire's hot. I was doing a whole Flamey fire. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, incendiary, Molotovs. Yeah. Spark. You're just a young Spark. Not anymore. Waiting to ignite. Yeah. Oh, you're burnt out. You once were a shooting star, now you've burned out. Is that it? Yeah, it's something like that. That's what I would have written on your Valentine's Day card. You once were a shooting star, and now you're gone. Forget about you. Love, Matt. It's all about the thought that counts. Simple sitting on the end, way down there. Oh, we got a notepad for from Zonic, excuse me. Yeah. Looking up notes on the new look old Na'Vi. Well, they have played Mirage online. Maybe he's watching the demos, getting him some intel. The key thing you normally take away is, well, their tendencies on pistols, whether they've done the same tactic over and over again, whether they have particular weaknesses in their defaults, what smokes usually mean in terms of their executions, whether they have any fakes and what the signs of that are. Just basic information like that. There's some banana skins that Astralis is so famous for eating, especially Dupree. He's playing real life Mario Kart. There's another banana. He's still got that one. Don't follow up closely behind him, he'll drop the peel. Dupree loves his bananas. He really does. Mad for them. Nothing wrong with a little potassium. I think potassium helps you tan, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So you're saying I should eat more bananas? Yeah, absolutely. I could be way off the mark on that one. I'm sure someone out there is like a dermatologist that's like, yeah, you're ridiculous. Well, you fetch me a banana and I'll give you a shot of protein. How about that? Don't mind those odds. Let's get us out of there. It's going to be the second map of the best of 3. Winner, of course, will be going through to the playoffs to join North, surprisingly, who took down SK Gaming in the first best of 3 today. And it will be Astralis on the T side here. Na'Vi, I assume, won the knife. Will be starting on the CT side. Good luck, have funds are exchanged. 4 sets of armor for the CT side and 3 for Astralis. No greater pistols. We do have 2 smokes. Most teams do favor towards either an A execution or an A split, but aggression coming from the CTs towards top and middle. Edward boosts himself up towards CPL, and Simple trying to find the first frag here. Doesn't do it. Glaive takes him down, but Edward fighting back. Valiant effort to get back in around with the kill. Slows down the aggression at middle, but not so much the aggression on A. Zeus and Flamey have to play that from CT as Sipix enters, and tagged down to 17 is both Zeus and relatively close to that on 19 is Flamey. So both those players thwarted, hindered, and pushed back. Seized will not have any of it, though. Goes back in and finds Glaive. Device falls to Edward, and now it is just the 2 players that entered from A that remain. And there is no smokes. They've got to go aggressive to get the plant. Dupree starts that with good authority. So too does Zipix, reading the fact that they were low towards CT on the early exchanges. Sets and readies, but not so much for Flamey's position. He's fired a lot of shots, giving himself away. Commits to the site. That actually was a decent move because it gave the box to cover him from jungle, but still he gets taken out by Flamey. Like, Astralis had full control of that situation, but some missed shots there towards jungle, and a couple of frags came in. That was lovely from Edward to get them back in the round after losing the first exchange. That's Simple pushed up towards top and middle. No bomb planted, though. Means 1-0 for Na'Vi and a 4-spy for Astralis. Everyone going all in. CZ's deal, not a single Tech 9. Just goes to show you that it seems like the Tech 9 is going out of fashion somewhat. Was one of the most prevalent and discussed pistols in the entire game. now it doesn't seem to be purchased that much at all.
Maybe Fnatic will hold true to their roots. Fanatec. 9. Sees spots up toward apartments. Just a bit of pre-fire down toward the hall. Dupree on 1 HP after the exchange. They'll go back to the horseshoe. They might need to carry a good luck horseshoe to make anything out of this round. You ever play horseshoes, Hank?
No, we don't really do that.
Yeah, I prefer me a wash or toss game anyway. Maybe a bit of Beersby.
Yeah, love that.
It's a good one.
Don't know what it is.
Teach you sometime. Kirby. Low side of middle with the CZ.
Dupree down to 1 HP though. As they make their way towards connector. Very evil passive hold from Simple and Kozu's watching towards the connector as well. I don't see a world where Astralis getting much done here. No nades to work with now. They've got, well, I guess 1 flashbang, that's about it. No real damage inflicted to the CTs, and they look pretty calm at this point. And they will finish up towards A. Damage done. Zeus still holding strong in connector.
Good find from Edward. Zeus pushes back up strong, and connector indeed goes back out, but it's all about his teammates who get the information to make it work. Simple's tagged. Device is left at a 1 versus 5. It's actually 4, Henry. You should have corrected me.
I was seeing if you correct yourself.
Uh-huh. Well, I did, and I've always had to do that for myself. I always have to do things on my own with you.
Well, it's round number 3, and Astralis will be by themselves in this round. Nothing's to go with their Glocks. No armor, no nades. Maybe a P250. Not even that. Not a single dollar invested into this round. Na'Vi, they've got a clean run at it. Simple doesn't buy any sort of weaponry, stays on the USP. He knows he can just tap them to death with that weapon and sees. He'll spray them to death with the M4A4. Finds 2. They rush towards B. Nice little nade. Doesn't really matter, but the bomb falls back now towards T-spawn.
Flamey drops. Does not read that Xyp9x is as close as he anticipated. Thought he was inside of the archway. Surely. Or as Alex would say, surely. But he still got the kill. Glaive's gonna work out toward the boxes. Glock in hand. Simple with just the USB. Simple to get a quick kill, and then Zeus follows up to find Kiabi. We go 3-0, but now the excitement starts.
The excitement begins to set in. Simple, not buying a single thing in the last round, means he can bring out the AWP here in round number 4. Not the same story for Device, though. Great leg up for the Na'Vi side. Remember, they had the fantastic start over and overpass as well, but that was completely shut down by the Danes. Simple heading towards the connector here, using the smoke and Zeus to give him a bit of room to work with here. He's deployed. And for now, just a default round from Astralis. Xyp9x holding towards the palace. 2 doors off middle, that's Device and Glaive. Calvin Dupree holding the B apartments here. He's by himself in towards the B site. Edward will be joining him momentarily from short. But that first shot doesn't connect.
It's not quite the same jump angle that Dupree knows so well, but you still don't want to see him take those shots.
Sure.
Good smoke, by the way. That one, you line it up to the left side of the little black mark on the green canopy, throw it through the window, it bounces off the wall once, lands at the stairs.
There you go.
I think I still know 27 smokes on Mirage.
I don't know 1.
Really?
Yeah,
I was like the one map I just decided one day. I was like, I'm going to learn
smokes in the
smokes.
game. I've forgotten every single one now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So if I saw other people do them, I'd be like, oh yeah, I know where that lands. I don't think I could line up some of them myself anymore. But yeah, it was like the one map one day I just decided, all right, let's learn some smokes.
Yeah.
Zeus, meanwhile, pops a flash off the window to cover off mid. No one's going to push on the back of it. It does funnel them in toward the connector a little bit sooner than they were ready for. Flamey, good win on his exchange with Xyp9x, though, because controlling A main as they try and walk in from connector is going to be crucial, as he can swing and control with a crossfire exactly where Astralis is going. Device still manages to make it work, only for a moment, until Glaive gets in the window, retaliates. But Flamey has rotated accordingly. He's got eyes on bomb. Glaive's got to get the kill right now, and he manages it. So it brings it to a one-on-one with Seized, who's still positioned in a good spot. Catches them on the cross, and it's 4-0 for Na'Vi.
It is. Another great start here for the Na'Vi side. On their map pick as well, it will be 4-0. Has to be the eco here for Astralis as well, but Not really much they can bring to the table. Maybe some Glocks, some body armor, not Glocks, sorry, Deagles and body armor. They'll have maximum loss bonus into the next round, but Na'Vi finding the first frag, then capitalizing there. Came down to the 1v1, but like I said, Seeds with decent positioning towards jungle, finish things off, and we'll go towards A this time. Bomb still down in T-spawn, so don't expect anything too fast here. Get to, yeah, these stages of the round, no aggression in the CTs, and why would you? You know you're up against practically nothing here, so hold back and wait for Astralis to make the first move.
So Glaive will get the Deagle ready to roll. Flamey spots and good shot. He immediately annihilates Device with a one-tap from an M4 of all things. Main's gonna go in as well. If that bounces far enough, which it does, it'll do significant damage onto Glaive. Dupree follows it backwards, though, and they've actually got the lead for a moment, just a moment, a slight fraction of time by which the Pistols led. They'll go back to spawn to get the bomb, because if Dupree's able to hold on to B, chance they could plant, but it's a long time in which the bomb would have to travel, and it has to go in front of this man, Zeus, who's pushed up middle to cut off Na'Vi, or excuse me, Astralis in their rotation and transition. It's now 5-0, so they continue on with good force. 5 rounds means full bonus, however, for Astralis.
It does indeed, and that should be the first showing the AWP as well. Astralis with a chance to get back into this game, but very good stuff for Na'Vi. I think this is one of the rounds you go aggressive as well with Na'Vi. Change things up. Don't be on that default stance. You know the gun's coming out now, potentially the AWP as well. I may be pushing up towards middle or pushing at the A ramp. Something a little bit different, just to mix it up somewhat. Simple is in towards B, so there's the change. No real aggression coming through, but just rotating the setup, and looks like Astralis will be going for the full AXQ mat. All 5 players going all in the very start of the round. It's a little bit unorthodox. Normally you go for the default, then fall back into it, but this looks like it has potential. First shot for Device, but Flamey, he gets the refrag.
Drops in and catches off Flamey. He's going to get aggressive. Flash through smoke. Does he realize, rather, that Seized has gone up on the box? He certainly did. He must have heard of jump, but either way, checks it, takes him down, and full control of the A site. As Simple works back in through jungle with his AWP. Edward's going to go for a long rotation back through spawn and hope that he can catch them off, securing toward A main. Device isn't looking that direction yet.
I mean, this is the save now. Simple's gone towards the underpass. He's out of that.
Yeah, so Edward will use the position instead to get the exit kills. And without information of it, I doubt they'll even head out the site that direction.
Exiting through the palace, it seems. You can hold up in there and be absolutely fine. Don't have to go all the way towards T-spawn, where they are right now. I think they will stay alive. So Edward denied any sort of exit potential there, but it's not really worth Astralis hunting right now, Matt. A lot of reset potential right now. The first round they've won this half did have maximum loss bonus. That's now gone after winning a single round. Full A execution, working out quite nicely for them. Device gets that opening frag. Zipex, though, aggressive, of course, pushes through towards spawn and gets a very key frag in CT spawn. A lot of teams are doing that right now. By pushing through that smoke, we saw NIP focusing on that area, just pushing right through time and time again, and looking like he's getting a lot of success from it. The CTs is not really anticipating it. And here we go. Big round here for Astralis. Can't afford to get reset, with the scoreline they currently have. On the T-side short, these little CD-sided map. Glaive, easy frag on short. Zipex help him out as well. He's down to 4 HP, but that should be round done. Obviously saying let's just save at this point on the CTs.
Well, they've heard you, Henry, and they're going to do exactly that.
Yeah. Hey, when the bomb's gone out quickly, you've already lost 2 frags.
They must have taken How to Manage Your Economy 102.
Yeah, that's right.
Talking
when to save.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was a different chapter altogether. But good decision. You still have the lead. Don't need to burn money at this point. Keep it up. You've got the AWP. You've got 2 weapons around it as well. Some flashbangs to save, a defuse kit as well. A lot of money to take to the next round. Save these weapons. You're absolutely fine. And Zeus calls for the pause as well. This, of course, will be tactical. So a chance for him just to reflect what happened in the previous round. How did Glaive get up short by himself so quickly? How are the flashbangs so effective to that one player? And then it was Zipex who found the kill in towards the B side as well. No real response from Season Edward. That seems to be somewhat of a weakness, perhaps. So a pause now. Work out what they're playing into the next round. It's definitely still have enough money to buy in, of course, especially with the 3 weapons saved.
3 weapons saved is enough to justify when to force How to Manage Your Economy 102 Class 2.
Yeah, it's a long semester, but definitely worth every last penny.
What's the price for that, you said?
For 6 months of it, it's only, I think, like 40,000 euros.
40,000 euros?
Yeah.
So I would have to get $16,000 at least 3 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. I better have some good teammates.
Random braids. Device still on the AWP. 2 in a row now for Astralis. Looking much better. The pause comes in from Na'Vi. What's the adjustment here? Simple. Seems like he wants to be aggressive, of course. Doesn't hit the shot. Surely he's dead now.
Yeah, that flash was the end of him as soon as that came into vision.
Ooh.
And distilled his, took his away. It was all done. Glaive, good shot to take down Edward as well.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all from Glaive. Only had 3 bullets left in his magazine. Could have got the 4th kill, but I was about to say maybe it doesn't matter. But Flamey gets 1 in return. Why don't we done just yet, you know?
Well, they are heading to an empty and vacant B site. Flamey will take the long rotation A all the way through CT, and Seized is waiting at window. Has no confirmation as of yet that they have gone behind him and over toward that site. So Astralis will pick up what should be their 3rd.
Yeah, I think he might be right there.
That's not in the plans.
No, KLB running with the knife out, jumping down in the air as well.
Kit for Seized as well.
Didn't anticipate a player to be there.
If Device goes down here, there's a kit for Seized. I don't think I'd go for it at this point. You still have a decent lead. You just forced in around a save. But if they found that kill, you wouldn't fault them for trying. Top middle, vulnerable to Dupree's position. He takes down Flamey, low enough HP on Seized, gets them both, so no guns carried over for Na'Vi. And 5-3 Astralis clawing back in. Head to round 9 already. Fast game, it seems. We continue to accumulate the rounds. Good shot from Glaive to start it off. This snap as well over to the right to find Edward pushing. Quite good. It's quite all right.
Simple.
And that's not all right.
They actually force into this somewhat. Everyone went down for the CT side. So they have the AWP on Simple right now. 2K, so must have had residual cash there. Did save the weapon in the previous round. Or the last, but see if we can do anything with this. A partial buy, Zeus to be dropped by Zipex. Gets 2 frags and a missed shot. It was Simple. That looked dead on Zipex, I have to say, but no connection. And it will be a complete clean sweep here from Astralis. Looking to get 5-4, 4 rounds in a row. And this is very similar to what we saw on Overpass map. The great start from Na'Vi, then it's not getting back into the game whatsoever once Astralis got balanced and settled in terms of the cash.
Well, Edward, just the CZ will fight valiantly, but can't find both kills. Did get Kirby. No way, not possible for him to grab the weapon immediately at his feet and try and use that further. But we get guns back out. And an AWP for Simple, unsurprisingly now. Simple is normally known to be bold and dynamic on this map. We'll see if that's something that comes into the play, because he's only got 3 kills right now. The money's fallen from them after the 5-0 start. Device, meanwhile, up to 5-5, so better start for him this map.
Round number 10. Simple, still with the AWP. Holds towards middle. There's actually a failed smoke in mid, so let's see if that comes back to haunt them. It doesn't look like it's another execution here. All 5 players from Astralis all in. Flamey to defend from Shadow. Can't get the first shot once again. It's Zeus that's blind, but the flashbangs from the CD side, 1 step better. It's going to be more frags to the CTs here, but Device and Dupree start to light them up and take full control of the situation.
Bit peculiar that Zeus was able to survive as long as he did. I thought that could be a problem for them. As soon as he goes undetected and someone starts to look away and expect his teammate to get the kill instead, he could pop out and be a thorn in their side. But Seized does get Dupree, getting aggressive towards CTs. There was no smoke down with the bomb planting.
No kids, just a note.
It's a good point, because it'll put time as a factor. They'll be looking for their first round in the last 4. In the last 5, I suppose, if you consider them all. Caribbean behind the firebox, 16 HP, no nade to be thrown at him. thankfully, because it would be the end of him. Device back and forth between two intended targets, finds the one on the left. Looks as Edward bypasses him from the right, takes down Kiarbi as well. He may try and hold this, but you said it, no kid, he's picked one up. But Device won't give him even 5 seconds to think about it.
Yeah, at that point, the round is the guaranteed victory for Astralis. Sure, he gave the full defuse, but he can't afford to get off the bomb. So Device can just take his time, make sure he nails the kill, and 5 rounds in a row for Astralis comes in off the back of another full execution there. Lovely shots from Device, but it seemed like you said, Zeus gifted so much time to stay alive there. You'd think he gets more than one frag. And Flamey and co need to start finding these opening kills on the execution. Seems like they seem to flounder a little bit there. The smokes get deployed, and Flamey's in towards that shadow position by himself. Not hitting the shots required. It's going to be a partial buy now from the CT. CZs, 5-7s. No kits or real utility. We've got 1 HE grenade for C's. That's gone. Flamey didn't invest in armor this round.
Try and get down toward Glaive. No success on a 5-7. Everyone loves the 5-7, Henry.
That got adjusted recently as well, but
Did.
Here we go. A chance for Na'Vi. 3-on-3, but the B site, is it open once again? No, there is one player there. Edward, snake in the grass, manages to take down Kiarbi. Brings it back to the 2-on-2. He hasn't been able to recover a weapon just yet. Device coming in for the 1 dig. Make it a double as he manages to find the frag and potentially the round here. Flamey coming in from short though. Very quiet indeed. Glaive needs to be careful, but as soon as he hits one bullet, Flamey is the only player without armor there. And he talked about the aim punch. That was more like an aim uppercut, yeah?
Aim uppercut.
Yeah.
I like that.
It was so dramatic that it shot across into the air.
Thinking about like a roundhouse kick from Chuck Norris would be the next level on that.
That's the next level, yeah. We haven't got there yet.
I miss Chuck Norris jokes.
Yeah, they kind of died out 5 years ago.
Yeah, well, yeah, rightfully so. There were some good ones.
There were. My favorite one is when Chuck Norris turned 18 years old. His parents moved out.
It's so basic. There's ones like Chuck Norris doesn't have a chin. Behind his beard is only another fist.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Classic. Well, speaking of classic, it's simple. Orb shot there from Connector. Takes down Glaive. 5-4, but they have got an open B site once again. There's only one player towards shore. That's Seized. Out of position, potentially out of time here as well. Needs to be very careful. Can't really afford to go down here. Zipex looking to find the shot. Seized is missing everything right now. Trying to do what he can through the smoke here, but it still seems like it's under control. I say that, but Zipex and Dupree take him down.
Kiarbi, top of the van over the smoke, able to find one more walking through the doors. It's Zeus that will fall. Watch for Edward. He's already got one in the round. Simple. AWP can't find the immediate shot toward the van. That would have given them the best chance in the round to get back in, but Simple's not done. Oh, catches Dupree in the leg, and that's enough as it got through the wall, but not enough to win the round. When Chuck Norris goes swimming, the water, he doesn't get wet, the water gets Chuck Norris.
Oh, what have we started?
Let's bring it back, Henry. Single-handedly.
Yeah.
If the dab can be cool, then Chuck Norris jokes are infinitely cool.
That's true. Well, Simple with a very good job there with the AWP from short. Gets 2 kills, but Device 1 step ahead of him. Seems like he's found some performance again. He's top fragging right now on 11 frags. 7 rounds in a row for the Danish side. Looking to be the second Danish team within the playoffs. North already there.
That's a great point. Seems to be a continued trend as the Danes' regular appearances in the playoffs. North's had their troubles, but let's hope this roster change gives them more stability.
I'm excited for it. Well, there's a very nice addition. They seem more of a solid 5-man unit now. More of a team, I guess.
I hold no sentiment for rosters anymore.
No?
No, Gambit was like my last chance to be a big fanboy, and then it broke my heart.
They definitely broke that heart. Yeah. Win the major. Nah, you know what? This isn't working out for us.
I get it. It's all part of it. It's politics, but that's the point. It's an ongoing business. You must make steady improvements. Kiarbi takes down Seized. Astralis now 8 in a row.
Indeed. Round number 14 now. Na'Vi 5-0 up. This is almost identical to what we saw on Overpass. It's kind of bizarre how they can start so strong and be so good on the pistols, but just can't hold on. That had to be the eco in the previous round. Even with maximum loss bonus, it's not like being on the T side. You can just about force every single round. CD side, you have to give in at some point. Going to the last few rounds now. Another buy available. Simple on the AWP. Only got 7 kills, 8 deaths. Hardly been lighting it up on the scoreboard here. Fast play from Dupree, trying to find the first frag. Simple misses yet another shot there.
Dupree Top stairs backs off. Smoke at the top of them, and he's able to go down from said smoke after jumping across, get Zeus, and then use the same smoke, the very same smoke, believe it or not, Henry. I tell you not a lie, to jump away and stay alive, and that's actually given them a one-man advantage by which they can stabilize the round. Bomb ticking as well.
How do you retake this? The bomb is such a perfect position as well. Device, that smoke's not going to do anything for them. Flash might help them out somewhat.
And you've got two players already rotating to mid because this all happened so quickly. They were already back towards spawn, so not only is it positioned for Device perfectly, but also through connector.
Easy kills. He's just like skeet shooting right now.
Skeet shooting, have you ever done it? It looks harder than people make it out to be, I think.
It is very difficult. It's one of those things after you've been a couple of times though, you can't kind of start
the hang of it.
Yeah,
I got you.
Just getting the technique down, not being scared of the loud bangs.
Loud bangs scare me all the time still. Well, Simple has an op.
Oh, he survives?
He gets away, just barely. I'm surprised by that, but he does. It's 9-5 still, though, for Astralis. They get another round. We go into round 15. That op being carried over.
Yeah, that's huge.
Is big.
Because they're going to be forcing regardless, right? So him saving the AWP. To be fair, he's only got 8 kills so far. After going 5-0 up, he's had almost no impact when the real gun rounds began. But if ever there was a time to find some form, young Sasha, this would be it. Trying to wallbang them at the very start. Nothing inflicted just yet. Dupree's got that second AWP out map. We'll keep track of that storyline. Flamey manages to take down Device to the A ramp and finds himself an AWP as well with Simple. Dead now, of course. It's going to be the 4-on-3. Simple going down with Flamey picking up his AWP and managing to find 2 frags so far.
Kirby's done everything except kill his target on Catwalk as Edward tagged and runs, scurries back to the depths of the site with just 18 HP.
Yeah, he scuttles off.
Scuttles, I like that word.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Scuttles with his broken wings.
And we do have a bomb going down. Potentially, Glaive is on the site by himself. His teammates are nowhere to be seen. Does he go for this plant?
Can I just say that I never liked...
audacious.
That's very audacious. Can I say that I never like people saying broken wings? Say wounded wings. The alliteration's so much nicer.
Yeah, you're right. Never heard anyone say broken wings either, to be fair.
Really?
No.
Oh, maybe that's just like a North American thing. Nickelback probably had it in a song once or something. Bastards. Kirby gets Edward down the plant, though. If as audacious as it was, is going to be equally as audacious on the defuse because he's already got it down to 2 seconds. Full 10 seconds, and they get it. To end the half, that is how it goes. You want to plant in the open like that? Thanks very much. We'll take it back. We knew they were far from the site, and they get the 10-second defuse.
Yeah, Kirby laughing about the situation. Sometimes if you don't laugh, you'll cry. It was in the last round there. UMPs, the AWP of Flamey is the one that finds in the round after going 5-0 up. The scoreline is 9-6 in favor of Astralis there. Very disappointing closing first half for Na'Vi, but still within it, of course. They'll probably win the pistol and draw things up, I'd imagine. Simple, he's not looking too happy about it. It's been a rough year for him, Counter-Strike terms. It
has. I mean, you leave a Team Liquid that really wasn't doing much aside from 2 major runs, both of which he was a big factor in, and heads to his utopia.
Yeah.
This mystical Eden of yellow and black. And then it all goes poorly. Aside from New York.
They won New York, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, or even
it's 10 days. Well, from right now it's 3 weeks, but 2 weeks ultimately. It's a little less than 3 weeks.
Oh, there you go. So maybe they can do that again, but who knows? Astralis win this. I dare say the 2-0 very likely, but have a look at the buy for Na'Vi. Smokes, none of those. There's flashbangs. A rush, just go for it. No one there ready for the CT. Glaive tucks himself in towards Shadow. They don't check it. It's the first kill, trying to stay alive now.
Shot back though, Simple. Goes in with authority and vengeance. Zeus will make no mistake on finding Kirby. Watch for Simple to push through the smoke, but the flash was just too soon. He wasn't able to turn away. Everyone's going to get their vision around the same time as a result, but it's who acts fastest that will prevail, and that is Device. As he quickly locates Simple, trying to push through. Unfortunately, he's lost out to Zeus. As C's takes Zipix, it means there's one remaining. Dupree. No kit. Armor. Flamey does not have the armor, so best intended target for him, but one shot will do it for Flamey as he picks up a USPS and makes small work of it. 9-7. Chance to tie this up.
Definitely. Both pistols going in favor of Na'Vi. First half, they had the 5-0 lead. Looking to do that once again here in the second. Astralis will be force buying here. Device joins in as well. He keeps his money about $500 though, so he gets body armor And just a deagle. Doesn't go all in. Trust me, every dollar counts in Counter-Strike. Saving 500 is quite significant. Difference between getting a glass cannon AWP and not being able to do that. Flashbangs come through. Execution, not a huge fan of this. Prefer the default to the start. They are all in right now. Could find themselves battling a stack.
Seized. Good find on Glaive in the corner. Could have been problematic for them. Don't think it would have amounted to a significant margin, but perhaps a kill or two at best. Simple will get back inside of their sight, and through the smoke, down goes Device. dupreeh, always swift with a deagle, is able to find Seized. That's all he gets. And Xyp9x on 4 HP with 4 to find. HP's low enough for everybody on Na'Vi, but unfortunately he's not going to get much. Excuse me, Zeus walks out and sprays him down. 1 round in it.
Has to be the full eco. Should be tied up here. Not really much Astralis can bring to the table here. Full eco, one of those rounds that doesn't really mean that much. Na'Vi objectives, keep 5 players alive, keep it simple. Astralis get 1 kill. 2 would be something quite special, believe it or not. Nothing invested into round number 18 here.
Good find from Simple, as Glaive had no idea they were already inside of the A site.
Bomb has been planted.
Just gets toward ladder. Simple, already pushing on with the AK. Oversteps the bounds maybe ever so slightly. That puts Flamey in a position to try and strike, but he's the one that saved onto it. USPS. That could be a touchdown. Certainly is. He sends dupreeh soaring through the air. I'd like more dramatic ragdoll for grenade kills.
Yeah, I'd like more dramatic headshot animations as well. At 1.6, when you shoot in the head, they fly backwards like 6 feet.
Yeah.
That was quite cool.
Yeah, they kind of landed on the ground like a plank.
Yeah.
Like a 2x4.
Yeah.
Got dropped out of the back of a pickup truck. Just bang.
Well.
I also missed the backpack.
What, the bomb?
Yeah.
They have a little brown backpack, yep.
When you were the elite crew. Brown backpack, nice green sweater to match.
Yeah, nice accessories.
Always styling.
AWP comes out for Device, like we said. That's save $500, means he can get the AWP. No armor. Little decoy in there, just in case. dupreeh. A little resource here, he pushed up towards middle, flashed off, and could find its demise, but Xyp9x there to back him up, gets the first frag, and he'll fall back as well. Flamey on the other side of the map, he's pushing out towards the palace, but Simple striking back with 2 shots of his own.
That's pretty good. The flashes made them lose their way. They wanted to stay, and then they hesitated. dupreeh bailed, Xyp9x got caught out by it, and Simple stepping up on the AWP. About time, I have to say. First gun, and it's Na'Vi with a 1-man lead as a result. It's always the risk when you push middle.
Yeah, absolutely. A chance now for Na'Vi to take the lead. For the first time in a while. 4 on 3. CT'd right now with 1 player in the B-bomb side. That's Kiabi. Glaive and Device. Holding onto that A side. Time ticking away though. Less than 1 minute now. Bomb gets recovered in T-spawn. Simple holds towards middle. Calling for rotations. Narrowly misses out on that flick shot. Glaive had to get some intel there. Gets the frag and make it 2 as now Astralis take the lead in this round.
Device with quick accuracy to take out Zeus. They've held off the charge late from Na'Vi. 30 seconds still to work with. Simple still has the AWP as well. Kiabi's well removed over at B, so if he were to find Glaive on entry, definitely starts to favor Na'Vi. He's gonna look for it. Glaive refuses to move away from connector and peek. Flash out towards Device, timing off. As soon as he peeks back, it's exactly when he strikes, and as a result, Glaive knows exactly where they're coming from and pops out to get the 2nd kill.
And it's a big round. 4 on 3 situation after Simple lit them up in middle. This was fantastic work by him. You can see the flashbang so on point. 2 frags, I think that's the round guarantee, but Glaive, he's been playing really, really well today, I have to say. Very impactful frags. Gets him back into the round. Device hitting a couple of AWP shots as well. Still money available for Na'Vi here, but this will be their final buy if they do lose the round. Number 20 here. 2nd map is best of 3. Astralis can pull this one off where they currently have the lead. They go to the playoffs.
Good point. Playoff match. Navi will drop down in the group to the decider matchup, which is tomorrow. Which I believe is Friday? What day is it?
It's Thursday today.
Thursday today. All right, cool. I don't really pay attention to days of the week anymore. There's 8 days a week, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought the people from the UK said once.
Simple gets tagged up through the wall there. Down to 35 points of health. Edward not far behind. Definitely some chance for some fragging there for Astralis. Didn't really convert it though, but still fine. Device on that AWP for now. They're going towards B. They haven't really tried their luck on this side of the map just yet. Zipex there. One of the strongest anchors in CSGO. Normally great for 1 or 2 frags on Mirage. Let's see what he can do here.
Dupree is positioned well, but caught out by Zeus. That's a problem for Zipex because he's swung to the open to try and cover up both Cat and the entrance from apartments. Glaive tries to back him up. It gives him 1 kill and a bit of space, so he gets in behind the van instead, but they know exactly where he is. Even the pre-fire won't solve it, though.
Oh, look at the HP. They're done for. Hoping that Zipex makes a mistake here. Backstab coming through Debris. It's over. Zipex does it again, Matt. 3 kills with him in total. By himself in that B side for so long. Just to see how long he stays alive for.
He's an anchor.
It is. That's all you need, is someone who can dig their heels in, stay alive, doesn't get the most flashiest of kills, doesn't have the craziest aim, but he knows what he has to do to win rounds. Gets 1 kill, repositions, buys time, drops a bit of utility, focuses towards short, listens to the calls from his teammates, hits another frag, keeps staying alive. That's the main objective. This is a force buy now from Na'Vi, showing signs of weakness. The cracks starting to form. First shot from Glaive, making a double. The bomb's gone down and potentially the round as well. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, just pistols. Quick round, they'll make easy work of it. Dupree, good position on the Cinders, is able to take down Edward inside of middle. Sees just wants to show off some movement mechanics. Then hang out in the corner, talk about what's coming up next. Could be utilized to some effect if you wanted to sit in a corner and draw out those rounds to talk about the next, because they are going to go into a situation in which money is still tight. They could force onto this. It's 3 rounds against them, but that starts to make problems long-term because they're going to be then under 13, potentially 14 with a save immediately after. So pistols is the right call, I think, because that gives them a chance to get into it in the next round with greater effect. That was the force buy in the previous round, and a deagle shot for Flame. He surely doesn't get anything more. Glaive takes him down once again. Nice work. Try to take the lead, and looking quite comfortable now. Should be 13-9. After the deagles and drops. Not the cleanest of frags, but Dupree gets it done. See, he's coming in towards the connector right now. But he'll just hold up and hope for a CT mistake to come through. When it's 20 remaining, they've got no nades. See the body armor. I don't think that's going to be a savior though.
He's trying his utmost, but can't do anything about Dupree. And it's aren't too simple. Does that bomb?
He does.
Get them some cash.
He has 1 shot here. Get that first kill. Well, maybe not. 13-9. 5-0 down in the first half. 3-0 down in the second. In terms of gun rounds, we haven't... Oh, hello. Banana's going into like beast mode when he starts eating the banana. Finish the game off. Like Popeye and spinach.
Ooh, Popeye and spinach. I like that reference. Yeah. Popeye the Sailor Man lived in a garbage can.
Anything else?
Nah, that's all I remember from that. I used to have a little Popeye figurine where he was in a little boat.
Yeah, that's where he did his best work as a sailor.
Well, it was actually more of like a speedboat, though. It was kind of weird. And he was like, waist up was as big as like the whole boat.
Rushing B map. We'll have to get back to Popeye momentarily. Zipex tries to do what he can now with the AK-47, but it's not enough. Did damage. I think that's a save called already. CTs are just allowing it to happen. So you can go back to
Popeye the Sailor.
Yep, there you go.
Good call to save on this. They've obviously got 3 rounds to the end of the game, and Navi's about to find their 10th only. So I say only. It's close enough that they could still be within striking distance, but not giving away any economy will certainly make that a harder task for Na'Vi. And this is why, as well, they chose to save in the last round so that they could get the better buy and a fast play to change it up. Astralis hasn't really been hit with too many fast plays.
Well, change of pace there for Na'Vi after losing 4 in a row. Towards B, pushing through the smoke. To be fair, Zipex did a ton of damage. He was by himself. He started spamming the AK. But that was a cue for Na'Vi to actually push through as well. We've got a big chaotic there. See if he gets one kill, but he can't find the refrag. Teammates weren't there to back him up. Astralis opt for just saving the money here, not letting things spiral out of control. And that's a very wise and informed decision, I would say. Pause by Edward this time.
Do you remember as a kid they used to have those Popeyes candy sticks? Which
yes.
were basically white candy sticks that look like cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly.
It was basically promoting kids smoking.
I always thought that. It's like, well, what is this supposed to mean?
How controversial is that?
They were in like little cigarette packets as
well.
Yeah,
they were like tiny little ones. Yeah. You used to get them on Halloween all the time. It's like every kid, too, would instantly put it in their mouth and pretend like they had a cigarette and be like, oh, look how tough I look. Like that's really good. It's the best marketing cigarettes ever had right there.
Yeah, that's great. Let's get it stuck in their heads nice and early.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the double orb
Gotta get them while they're young, Henry.
Yeah, well, that's how they got me. Double orb setup now. We're seeing this more and more from Astralis. I played a Dupree in a game a couple of weeks ago, and he said he's going to try and do it.
Well, I was thinking it might be something they feel like they have to do because they're pretty much the only team that doesn't have the double up setup.
Yeah. Might
be something in that.
Well, I guess he has to, really. Just out of necessity, really. Like, you can't just never have that as an option.
I think that's the bigger aspect.
Yeah.
It can't be. It can be a sometimes, but it can't be a never. I don't think they need to rely on it like other teams do. In fact, I think some teams overcommit to it.
Just have it as a situational backup.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's worth investing some time into practicing and researching. But I hope they don't get stuck on it too much like other teams have in the past.
Well, every time I've seen him have the orb, he seems to have some sort of impact there. Oh.
Yeah. They've got to spot those tracers. Yeah, Seized is easily going to take down Glaive. He did get Edward beforehand, though, so it could have been done more quickly.
Yeah, the fact he got one there was maybe even too much. 4-on-4 device towards CT spawn.
AWP at the ready. Nade goes out. Device wants more. Flamey doesn't want to give it to him. If he even goes anywhere near the corner or jumps toward the balcony, he's down. Head shown. And Device is repositioned accordingly. This is even better, though. Kiabi getting behind them. That's a quick shot. Flamey gets found with a right flick.
This is huge for Na'Vi as well. This is reset round at the closing sectors of the second half. 4-on-3 now as we head towards the A site. 30 seconds though, Matt. They can't really rotate over towards B. Giving their position away, and Device sneaking around the corner as well, looking for the cross to the side. They don't have any sort of smoke or flashbang to negate him. He hits the shot while blind though, and now will go down. Oh, will it? Wow. Device denies the bomb, and now he just needs to try and stay alive, but Simple says no. Still a 2-on-2, 15 seconds remaining. Bomb needs to go down here, but they're apprehensive. Yes. Kiabi coming in from the A ramp, doing everything he can to keep the dream alive, and Dupree backs him up. That secondary orb working out quite nicely. Device.
That's exactly what Kiabi had to do. That is lovely to watch, to just sit back and wait for them to force the play. It was a brilliant shot from Device through the box, but Kiabi's patience in the end of the round, knowing bomb wasn't planted. I commend it.
Yeah.
This is quite good.
That was cool.
Oh, his foot was actually... X-Ray says it was sticking out, but I don't know if he could see it, so I won't jump to conclusions on that, but he certainly had the lineup perfect.
This is pretty much do or die time. This is it. Lose this round, you've gone pistols. And so you've got 3 AKs, a Deagle, UMP, full A execution. Astralis with the lead. Here we go. Take a deep breath, Na'Vi. Try and avoid that 2-0.
Glaive ready inside smoke. Is going to pop flash through it. This could actually just catch them off because they're going to walk directly into him. Do or die time, and die seems to be on the cards instead as Device steps up to get seized. He'll wait for an additional peek, adjust the crosshair so that the shoulder is all that he needs, and that's exactly what Simple gives him. Perhaps one too many times. Jumps up, finds Zeus as well. Device is looking alive late. Edward.
Be careful, boys.
Reasonable with the UMP, but then reloads in the opening. Kiabi will close it out yet again with the last needed kill. 15-10, you said it might be do or die. It's all in, and it's just pistols for Na'Vi in what will be a 2-0 sweep if Astralis get the round.
They needed at least a bomb down there. Didn't happen. Plenty of money for Astralis available. Not the same story for Na'Vi. Winning both pistols, both of which converted to 3-0s. Gun runs haven't been great. Won a single one this time in the second half. Towards middle they go. Aggression from the CTs, though. Decide to fall back once the smokes and flashbangs are deployed. Don't want to give this round away, especially. They know the money's super weak. Use those orbs and the crossfires. Dupree with the first shot there. That's from Jungle, and this could be a map. Glaive with the second frag, 5-on-3. UMP in the hands of Edward is the last line of defense here, and it's towards B. They've gone aggressive. First frag comes in for Glaive, and now surely it's over.
Flamey backs away after picking up an M4, his only hope. Bomb is still up. Simple has it. Simple also has angles toward window. Makes it work on Dupree, but Zipex is there to trade. 16-10, 2-0. Astralis join their Danish compatriots, compadres.
Counterparts.
In the playoffs. Counterpart, I like that.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike, counterpart. They're both in the playoffs. Not bad.
Well, Matthew, it is the 2-0. Na'Vi certainly showed some signs of life there, but overall it seemed like a very Astralis-esque show. Mirage, I thought that's when Na'Vi could bounce back, but to be fair, after getting 5-0 up and it being similar sort of fashion as to what happened on Overpass, huge lead, then it drops down to a 9-6 with a ropey last round to get them back into it. It feels like they didn't really show up there. Device, another great performance. He looked very quiet on Overpass, but bounced back, and that's always what you can rely on him with. Even if he has one bad map, it's not the end of his run that day.
No, absolutely not. And it's good to see that he also went back to the op. And as you said, on the first map, it's important to identify that he was struggling with the AWP and then just giving it up altogether. But to say, okay, that's one map, and reset in between maps and go back to it right away, great. Good to see. Instead of just ditching it altogether.
Yeah. Well, any particular highlights there for you?
Talking about Popeye, and
that was good.
You know the other thing people used to do with them is they used to try and sharpen them as much as they could.
Did they? What, use them as weapons?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, shivs. Why not? I just remember people doing that.
Okay.
There's one girl, Stephanie Chubb, like grade 2. She figured out how to do that. Then she'd poke people with it. It's really annoying.
Well, I'm not sure what I can say about that one.
Any particular memories or highlights you have?
I liked that knife round. Well, the knife play from C's to take down Zipex. I thought that was quite exciting.
Yeah, that was a bit of a.
I like.
I think you were a
serious one. I liked that Dupree is going to be the secondary open out for Astralis.
Yeah, that is
in the tournament. It seems like that's something they've been missing. Sure, they've been winning tournaments without it, but I think, like we said, it's a situational sort of advantage they can have, even when required. He seems to hit shots every time he picks up that weapon, so that's quite a cool prospect, I think, for the future. And maybe one of the guys on the desk can analyze as well. I was about to use that as a segue, but...
Well, we could, the thing is, we're not going to go to the desk, though,
right.
Hank.
Right,
so it was a good try.
It was good, wasn't it?
I know you're new. You're still working into this role, but you'll get there someday, son. With that, we're going to go to Smix.
Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations, Glaive. You guys are moving on once again to the top 8 of another event. Not only does that feel satisfying as always, but to also get revenge on Zeus for the loss at the Major, that has to feel good as well.
Yeah, it feels really good. He's a really good in-game leader, and I'm glad that we managed to beat the Na'Vi team once again. I think we have beaten them all the times that we have met them with me on the team. So yeah, even though they changed, I'm glad that we were able to beat them.
And now, in preparing against Na'Vi, did you keep in mind at all how Zeus led Gambit at all, or did you not think of that at all, since this is a separate team with different players?
We looked mostly at their online games in Pro League, and also Danny looked up on some of the stuff from Gambit, but there wasn't too much to take from that, so it was mostly from the Na'Vi games.
Now, earlier today, we saw that SK surprisingly did not win their winners match, and now they have to go to the deciders match. Because of that, were you happy about that? Because as of now, at least, Astralis looks to be in better form. Or on the flip side, do you not like that because there's a chance that you might have to face them earlier on again?
It's a weird mix of both things, I think, because it would have been nice to get second if they get to second as well, both FaZe and SK, but still they have the chance of going out in groups, and we don't want to be there at all.
Well, congratulations again, and best of luck with the round of 8. And with that, we have 2 Danish teams in the quarterfinals.
Yes, we do indeed. And it's not long for those guys over in Denmark to go ahead and go for a quick drive and come and watch some live Counter-Strike for them as well, if they want to go ahead and support their local teams. I'm joined once again by Sponge, Pimp, and Yanko. What's up?
You can't really drive in Copenhagen, Alex. I was there for a week. My experience wasn't fantastic. They have to stay on the bikes. They're going to be on the pushies.
Have you tried to get like a cab or something like that?
Mate, we had a car. We're stuck in traffic for 45 minutes for a 15-minute drive, pulling my hair out. Me and Yanko sitting there singing songs, having some show tunes. It wasn't actually that bad, now that I think about it.
We were trying to keep the camaraderie up, but everyone's like, yeah, that's why everyone rides bikes in Copenhagen. Like, yeah, what do they do during winter? Like,
put a coat on.
Minus 15 and go ride a bike for 20 minutes.
That's how we roll, man. I'm an advocate for the
You're going to be on the pushy?
Yeah. Why is it a pushy? Why does everything sound slightly sexual in Australia?
In Australia, right? Because you got a motorbike, which is also a bike.
Yeah, but you don't push your bike along, do you? We're getting sidetracked. We've just had some great Counter-Strike. Na'Vi taking on Astralis. And I say great Counter-Strike. You can see a couple of you wincing. Some of us expected a little more from Na'Vi. In fact, a quick update. was it 2 people expected this to go to a 3 maps? Who was that?
No, it was only Yanko. Everyone else got the full 2 points here for this.
But let's explore that then. So you believe that one of these 2 maps was going to go the way of Na'Vi, and what wasn't delivered that you were looking for?
I think I expected, individually Simple to lead the way on Mirage, for example, because he did have some good performances there with the AWP, was able to, be all over the map pretty much and have a lot of impact. But that's why later on we will show it. Astralis was going for an execute heavy playstyle on the T side, really a lot of utility to try and negate his effects. So it wasn't even possible that much for Simple or any of the individuals on Na'Vi to carry the team to victory, so to speak.
Yeah, and I mean, this is something that I think a lot of us talked about in that pre-show, and I know, Chad, even when watching the game, occasionally I get to hear little outbursts of, well, he's waiting for the flash, he gets the flash, you're asking for things, and they happen in front of you. It's almost like you can kind of get your head inside how they're communicating.
Yeah, you
can appreciate that.
You can definitely see like what's going through their heads when it's as clean and clear as what Astralis was doing with those A executes on Mirage. Even when they were doing the fast B splits, I really loved the pace that they were using, and they were dictating that mid control without a lot of hassle. Na'Vi weren't really putting up much of a fight. Smokes and Molotovs were perfect, and they're able to get away with whatever they wanted to.
Yeah.
And it's lovely to see.
Is it lovely to see for you as well, Jacob? Is that the kind of system that any player would want to kind of play within?
It must be an amazing feeling to be on a team like Astralis right now. And as you said, like they deliver every single time. You wait for the flash and it comes. You wait for that team play and it delivers every single time. And it was just like a great showcase of how strong Astralis actually is. The fundamentals are so strong. You even saw an overpass in the beginning. Device was having maybe the worst half he have had in this year. And they were still up 9-6 after that half without winning the pistol round. This team is so well rounded, and it doesn't matter if their star player doesn't deliver. There's 4 other guys to pick it up.
I mean, he was delivering. He
did pick it up in the second half.
I mean, that's you don't have to shoot heads to deliver.
Yeah, that's a cool little thing that they were
That's
doing.
a little tidbit, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit of fun, a little bit of goof and a gaff. In fact, you can go ahead and show us about these executes as we do once again.
A bit more goofs and gaffs, yeah?
Yeah, what have you got for us?
Yeah, this was as we mentioned, Astralis did a lot of the times in the half, they did run this A smoke execute, but it was always with a little bit of a twist, right? In this particular round, towards the end of the half, this is the one Chad mentioned when he was calling things and they were actually happening. You can see how early on they basically want to fake that fast B split that Chad mentioned. This was supposed to go into window room, the smoke, the other smoke is landing on catwalk. That basically forces Na'Vi to focus on mid early on. In return, you can see how the rest of Astralis, actually all of the players, are setting up for those smokes, and you will see how they pop. The standard smokes fly in for A, the connector one, the stairs one, and the CT one. They also throw a Molotov here so the player can't peek bench aggressively, but you can see Dupree in a position, the flash is already flying in, because Astralis understands you can't simply just throw the smokes, plant the bomb, and then defend. It's going to be difficult if you don't gain any ground or don't find any kills, and that's exactly what happens. Pop flash works perfectly, Dupree pushes forward for more position, Zeus doesn't really expect it, he gets the kill, and again immediately falls back, realizes he has done enough for his team in this round. They have to be very cautious moving in for the retake, and what Astralis does in turn, actually, they will send 2 players back to rotate all the way back towards mid, because the bomb is planted for that position, and it's a very powerful setup for the retake. So in theory, it's just another one of those simple A executes, but in practice, with those small adjustments, forcing Na'Vi early on to focus on mid, then Dupree with the pop flash, it really makes it just enough for them to win rounds in a clear fashion.
What I find so crazy as well is that you can just see the amount of flashbangs that are just thrown towards CT. As soon as that bomb's down and they're on their way out, you watch 3 CTs just doing the flashbang dance for like a good kind of 5 to 10 seconds.
It's the small details there. The going into the bomb site, realizing they're playing retake, Dupree finding that opening frag, and then in the back of everyone's mind, or at least the call being made, to, hey, we know they're playing retake, let's drop back around to middle here. Not only does that mean they can play that post-plant situation from so many more angles and make it much more difficult for the guys from Na'Vi, it also just... I forgot the point I was making. I actually forgot the point. Middle is saying it.
But does that not put pressure on because Device, right? So if that suddenly was... if they got one quick frag on Tetris, suddenly there's 3 players T, they've locked out ramp. Like, so basically Device, it's all on you holding that.
I remember my point. It's so that no one can flank as well, because they would have cleared out behind. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, you got that.
But you're right in that regard, but they're mainly focusing on the bomb site, Tetris, A ramp, and Palace. That's what they want to clear
if you're
first.
retaking, you're checking everything.
Exactly, but you're not so worried about middle, because you've seen that whole execute come in. You know that a lot of smokes, flashes, and Molotovs were used on that part of the map, and you're going to be checking everywhere else first, because you'd already... worried about middle early. You'd seen it was clear, and then the flank comes in as the second wave.
Yeah, well, now perhaps an unlikely suspect for our MVP has been selected, brought to you by Strafe. Our player of the match is going to be Glaive. Now, we're top of the scoreboard, I guess that helps, but also outside of that, he has become, and it will always be appreciated as someone that has kind of brought the Astralis roster into a kind of another level, Jacob.
Yeah, it is like he's a very clever guy. I've had the honor to play with him for around 2 years of my career, and I can like hands down say that he learned me the most about CS that I've ever learned. He's so smart, and the round that Janko just showed us, like there was just a perfect CS round. You saw Dupree being all the way down in connector, getting a first frag, and all of a sudden he's all the way down slope and actually about to flank middle, you know. And the reason why they were able to do that was because they still had 2 Molotovs to like hinder the bomb, so Na'Vi couldn't go in and defuse anyway, so they had the time to flank. And it's all about like to make the point that the communication on Astralis is so damn good, you know. Glaive is by far the best mid-round caller I've ever played with or ever experienced to play with, ever heard about. And the players he has around him, Kirby, Dupree, they're all good at communicating, you know. So they make it easier for him. And the combination of those 4, those 5 together just makes Astralis so good. Perhaps a bit of a tangent, but you've just piqued my interest. I have to explore further. What makes someone such a proficient mid-round caller? Are we talking about just they have a good read of the, like, is it the way they deliver it? Is how they're reading the round? What do you kind of think? He's first of all able to read the round, you know. He has this, like I like to call it a sixth sense for the game, you know. Whenever Glaive is in a one-on-one clutch back in the days, like you knew he's going to win it somehow, you know. It doesn't matter if the other guy knew where he was or HP, like none of that mattered at all, you know. You knew he was going to win the round. It's like he's able to pick up all the small intricacies, yeah, information he gets from the players, you know. If a player on a total different side says, okay, they use 2 flash and a Molotov over here, Glaive is able to like somehow paint a picture inside his mind, you know, okay, this will make a good mid-round call, you know. And that's not a lot of players who have that ability to keep calm and being able to still frag, you know, as we saw Glaive in this game, and still make the mid-round calls. He's just something special. Something special, and indeed we have got something special up for you next. We're going to leave it there for this one, as Na'Vi will have another chance to fight on. They're not going home, but that best of 3 is most definitely going the way of Astralis. Your next game to look forward to is Gambit versus NIP. NIP have already caused quite the stir here in Sweden, as not only did they pick up a win, they did so versus the star-studded new FaZe roster. We'll see what they can do versus Gambit in a best of 3, though, after a break.